Welcome back. And from here, what we do is commence movement all the way through the catacombs here. And we got to go up here. And normally there's a guy here named Patches. For some reason he's not here. The reason is because the Clerics already came here. So if you get here before the Clerics do, you'll have him, and he pulls some shady events. Ones you should watch out for, like turning bridges on you while you're running across them so you die. He's not exactly a fun guy to deal with, but he is very useful because he becomes a merchant and he sells some very good items that you need. This right here is one of my preferred weapons, the Great Scythe. It's wonderful. Let's kill that guy off right away, so that way the skeletons aren't a problem. Open up the next route. That leads straight back to where we came from, which is what we need, and here's the shortcuts. For now, what we're going to do is bypass most of the catacombs. We don't need to waste too much time here. This is the fastest way to Pinwheel, which is the boss of the area. Leroy! Good old Paladin Leroy. These bone wheel skeletons are extremely lethal. They do massive amounts of damage and a whole lot of quick hits. So my advice is just to avoid them. And then from here, we wait for Leroy to join us. Here he comes. Alright, Paladin Leroy was absolutely useless in that fight. And there we go with the Rite of Kindling. And the Rite of Kindling lets you kindle bonfires past 10. And Mask of the Mother, which I never use. And from here is where we access an area that's pretty tricky. It kills a lot of people. It's really not that fun to navigate because you're in the dark. As you can see, it's extremely hard to navigate the area unless if you know where you're going. There's enemies that are giants, hence the name Tomb of the Giants. This is one of them, the big skeleton guys. They can dish out a lot of damage, and they can kick you and literally knock you to the ground and floor you. So it's really not a good idea to try to take them head on. There's also a whole lot of traps like you see items and you want to go for them. It's bait, don't do it. Now, since I made it down here, first thing I'll try to do is make it to the bonfire quick before either the skeletons get to me or I get invaded. This will reset all the enemies I just aggroed that are probably trying to follow me. And from here, we're just going to keep it moving a little further. Not too much though. And we're going to come over here, and then there's going to be Trusty Patches. He's going to ask if you're a cleric. Best to say no, or else it's just not going to end well for this NPC. He tells you to take a look down here to see all the shiny things, and as you see, there's some shiny things down there. And then he kicks you off the ledge, and you land down here. But one of the good things about that is you find this. The skull lantern, and when put into your shield hand, you use it, you can actually see. Another good thing about coming down here is because that's where Rhea is, and she talks to you and mentions that her two bodyguards went hollow, and here they are. And if you just finish them off quick and go back and talk to her, she'll give you another miracle. And then she is saved from the catacombs, and your chance to buy some really good miracles from her open up, because then she returns to where she should be. Got a nice miracle there. It slowly regenerates your health for you, so that's always good. Health regeneration is definitely necessary. And then there's these guys, and from far away they look pretty intimidating, but they do hit hard. So, ooh. Yep. Oh! Alright. Those guys drop white chunks. White chunks help you upgrade your divine weapons, which you can hit a skeleton and kill it. And regardless of whether or not the necromancer is alive, it'll stay dead because it's a divine weapon. So from that pit that we got kicked down in, we come out here. Right there's the bonfire we were at to the left, which means Patches is right here.
You know what I mean, don't you? You and me, we're...
I always tell him no here, so in that way he gives you some humanity. Why not? It's not a bad idea, right? Free humanity. And then what happens from here is I will then warp out to go to Firelink Shrine, because that bonfire I'm at right now is a warpable bonfire, so you'll be able to just warp right back here and pick up where you left off. And it's a lot better to do it this way and go back and get everything that you need, because if you go too far, there's an altercation that happens between Rhea, which is the person that this playthrough focuses on, and Petrus of Thorlin. So your best bet is to actually make sure you get back in time before anything bad happens. And you'll notice she's not here. But if you keep moving, you got to think of where a priestess would go. Probably a church, right? Or at least that's what I would assume.
Hello. I will never forget what you did.
Thanks you and basically tells you she'll help you with miracles in order, or since you helped her. And this right here, the Wrath of the Gods, is that's the one that you're going to want. It's a great default spell, or a miracle I mean, for a lot of characters, and it does a decent amount of damage, and it also has a knockback ability. You get dead angle with it, it's very good. Magic Barrier is another one. Great heal, obviously a good one too. And I mean, from there it's pretty much stuff you already have or don't need. Sometimes it's fun to pick up an extra force. You can troll people with that. Get another Divine Blessing. And from there, that's pretty much all you need from her, and that's really it. So now all we have to do is just make sure that we level up our character enough to use the miracles we just obtained, and we're good to go from there. So that's how you save Rhea as a cleric to obtain the Wrath of the Gods and some other cleric spells that you'll want. It's always good to have the main spells for classes such as Wrath of Gods for being a cleric, Soul Spears and Crystal Magic for magic users, great Fireballs and Fire Tempests for pyromancers. It's always good to get the powerful spells that you're going to need, or else you're kind of just limiting yourself. So from here, we can place the Lord Vessel with this overgrown, flaccid, snake, serpent-looking guy.
No, I'm fine.
Just hit him once. If you hit him too many times, he'll get pretty pissed and go away. He basically asks you if you're the one who rang the bells of awakening. He knows that, obviously. So then from here what happens is he takes you to the Firelink altar, and that's where you place the Lord Vessel. And after you place the Lord Vessel, it opens up the area, the areas that are covered with that orange fog. And what happens after that is you're able to then access the Lord Vessel, or the Lord Souls, when you fight the lords who have them, and you can use it as a bonfire to level up. After you kill the Lord Vessels, you place their souls in the Lord Vessel itself, and then you open up this door right in front of me to go fight Lord Gwyn, who is the last enemy in the game. So after here, we basically move onward to the last five fights. Also, I still need to make it to the Painted World, so 7 more. No, actually, I think there's 10 or 11 more fights that we need to go through for bosses. So yeah, so stay tuned, it's almost over.